Hey guys, welcome to the channel here. This is going to be the first video of many of me reading out a D&D campaign that has been completely made up on the fly in a Discord channel that I am part of, and most of the content is homebrew except for just a couple of the items that we use and the way we handle situations, combat, perceptions and stuff like that. All that's done by rolling the dice, but I will not be reading out those parts. I'm basically just going to be giving you guys the raw story. It's going to be one heck of an adventure, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we have. And it's kind of a little backstory here, actually. This campaign was handled not really like the normally would expect a D&D podcast to be handled. We actually did all of this via text in Discord. It actually started out on our phones, but we moved it to Discord to keep all the information together, and to set things up a little bit different. But everything was text based, and it started out because all of us that were playing were in different parts of the country, and so the timelines never matched up. Most of us have families. Well, I think all of us now have families. It's been over a year since we've started. And so it just made more sense for us personally to just text in whenever you can with the story. The story will be on pause and waiting to see what everybody was doing. And so, it's just worked out really well. And it took us over 4-5 months to complete the first campaign. We've actually got about 4 or 5 of them out now, and if this takes off, I'll actually be reading those off to you too. So hopefully you like it. If not, well, I'm sorry. Nothing I can do about that. But so let me just give you a quick little rundown here. This is like I said, this is all home. The storyline is all homebrew. This was created by our DM, who is Yoda. His name is Yoda in our Discord, and so we'll just continue to call him Yoda. So everything that goes on is basically at his will. And then the players are going to be me, Bane. I play a mountain dwarf named Bjorn, Freehammer. We have Lamb Chops, who plays Lindell, and Lindell is a rogue. And then we have Doom, who plays Doom, and he plays a Warforged Warlock. So the group is kind of out there. It's not your typical party, but that's what D&D is all about. It's all about having fun, a big old hosh pot of different characters and going about things. We just have a lot of fun, and so this is going to be exciting, and I hope you guys are excited just as much as I am. I'm going to try to keep as much editing down as possible. That way you get, that way it just feels as raw as it can. Later on I might add like some sound effects or something like that in later episodes. But this is just to try it out and have a little bit of fun with it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. All right. This first part we're going to title Rescue in the Caves of Devil's Reach. Deep within the ominous caves of Devil's Reach, 3 intrepid adventurers found themselves imprisoned. They were captured by a small group of followers loyal to the evil wizards who dwelled in these treacherous caverns. As they woke up, they were disoriented, unsure of how they ended up there, or who else shared the cell with them. Their belongings were taken, locked away in a chest just outside the cell, which was guarded by a vigilant goblin. Bjorn, the observant among them, sat quietly, assessing the situation. He scanned the surroundings, hoping to find something, anything, that he could wield in his hands for their escape. Unfortunately, the cell wasn't well maintained. It bore the marks of goblin carelessness. The only other inhabitant of the cell was a grim human skeleton, a somber reminder of the fate that awaited those who were held captive here. Despite the grimness of the situation, Bjorn couldn't help but notice Bjorn couldn't help but have an idea. He reached out and grabbed a rib from the ancient skeleton, sensing its potential use. Lindell, ever resourceful, followed suit, selecting a femur for himself. They were preparing, gathering whatever they could to face the uncertainty ahead. The trio wondered about their belongings, which lay just outside the cell, securely locked away in a chest. The goblin guard, aware of their watchful eyes, paced back and forth, maintaining his vigilance. Suddenly, a halfling in chef attire entered the scene, carrying bowls of food for the captives. It was a brief respite from the tension.
"Feed them and get back to work,"
commanded the goblin in common tongue, as the halfling distributed the meager sustenance. Bjorn, standing alongside the other prisoners, quietly grabbed a bowl. Unimpressed by the halfling's claims of fame, Lindell, always with a sense of humor, inquired about silverware with a smile.
"Feed them. Get back to work,"
commanded the goblin in common tongue, as the halfling distributed the meager sustenance. Lindell, with a sense of humor, inquired about silverware with a smile, which was met with a regretful response from the halfling, explaining that silverware wasn't allowed, even for his famous stew. Bjorn, standing alongside the other prisoner, quietly grabs a bowl, unimpressed by the halfling's claims to fame. Lindell walks away, uninterested in the stew's contents. As they began to eat, they couldn't help but overhear the halfling's story. He introduces himself as Fewey, the owner of a tavern known as Fewey's Stew Emporium. But now he found himself held captive once more, a prisoner in this place. As the conversation continued, tensions grew. Chops, one of the captives, challenged the goblin guard, flicking mushrooms at him. The goblin, in turn, threatens him. The situation was on the brink of spiraling out of control, but the arrival of an arrow changed everything. The arrow strikes the goblin guard, killing him instantly. A green owl emerges from the opening of the dungeon, perching nearby. It was a mysterious savior, an unexpected ally. Bjorn seized the opportunity, picking up the keys the owl had dislodged from the goblin's hip. The owl's actions spoke volumes. It was here to help them. The adventurers were left in awe of this creature as it returned to its perch, leaving a few green feathers behind. Outside, chaos reigned. The clash of blades and goblin cries filled the air. The tide of battle seemed to have shifted, and the adventurers could sense a chance for escape. Unlocking the cell with the keys, they were finally free. Bjorn took the lead, introducing himself. "Let's get out of here, gents. My name's Bjorn." Lindell followed suit, sharing his name with a touch of excitement, while Doom remained silent but ready for action. To the dwarf's surprise, Doom transformed into a goblin, causing initial confusion and tension. Lindell assured everyone that Doom was on their side, and the group moved forward. As they explored the labyrinthine corridors, they discovered the aftermath of a battle, the bodies of goblins, orcs, and unknown soldiers strewn about. It was evident that forces were at work in these caves, and they needed to navigate through this chaos. Lindell, still intrigued by the owl, picks up some of the feathers, a memento of their unlikely ally. Using his magical abilities, he communicated with the owl, seeking to understand its motivations. It revealed that it was ordered to free the prisoners by its master, Olazar the Green, leaving the adventurers with more questions than answers. To their astonishment, Doom, who had remained immobile until now, finally rose and transformed, taking on the appearance of a goblin. He wielded a glaive, a weapon seemingly materializing out of thin air. The dwarf, taken aback, demanded an explanation. And by dwarf, it's talking about Bjorn. Bjorn's the dorm. The dwarf is the dorm. Bjorn is the dwarf. Doom introduced himself with a purposeful tone. "Greetings, meat sacks. I am Doom." The owl, ever vocal, had more to share. It confirmed the name of its master, Olazar the Green, and took the opportunity to playfully peck at Doom, drawing an unexpected reaction from Bjorn. Realizing that they needed to keep moving, the group pressed on, leaving behind the mysteries for the time being. Doom revealed that he had a specific mission: to retrieve the halfling named Fuey. Amidst the uncertain environment, they encountered a group of slain goblins, orcs, and soldiers, presumably the attackers who had sought to free the prisoners. This discovery only emphasized the dangerous nature of the situation. As they advanced through the passages, the adventurers encountered two doors. One emitted desperate cries for help from within, while the other appeared to be barricaded. They chose to investigate the cries first, finding several humans locked in cages. Frustrated at not finding their target, Doom turned his attention to the barricaded door, breaking through it with ease. On the other side of the barricaded door, they found Fuey, the halfling chef, accompanied by 4 goblins who were threatening him. Doom wasted no time in addressing the situation.
Target spotted. Retrieval in progress.
Fuey expressed his relief at being rescued, showing gratitude to his saviors. With the threat from the goblins dealt with, they all stepped back into the hallway, only to find more soldiers had appeared. These soldiers, however, seemed different. They introduced themselves as part of the army of Paragard, here to free the slaves. You know what? Let's take a quick second here to pause. Okay, there is. So what I did was I took our chat and threw it into ChatGPT and had it basically write out my script here, right? And it completely did away with the battle here. Let's see. Okay, so that was part of the phone storyline that we had, and it didn't transfer over to the Discord. So basically, Doom made very quick work of the goblins there. All right. Okay. So let's jump right back into it. Lindell, never one to back down, nearly provoked a confrontation. Nope. Bloop, 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 bloop. Fuey expressed his relief at being rescued, showing gratitude to his saviors. With the threat from the goblins dealt with, they all escaped. They all stepped back into the hallway, only to find more soldiers had appeared. These soldiers, however, seemed different. They introduced themselves as part of the army of Paragard, here to free the slaves. Lindell, never one to back down, nearly provoked a confrontation, only to be calmed by the soldiers. They explained that the wizard and Paragard wanted to meet the 3 adventurers, and even Fuey was invited. However, Fuey was hesitant, concerned about his tavern. Doom also had reservations, as his mission was to ensure Fuey's safety, and that task remained incomplete. A spirited discussion followed, but eventually they all agreed to go with the soldiers for the time being. Fuey explained to them that Paragard was the home of the Wizard Supreme, providing them with a sense of significance of their destination. The group emerged from the prison, stepping into the daylight outside, where they were greeted by more soldiers and a man with a staff adorned with a green gem, wearing robes with owl motifs. The Green Hat Wizard acknowledges them, identifying them by name: Bjorn, the Mountain Dwarf; Lindell, the Halfling; and Doom, the Warforged Warlock. Their eyes met, and the wizard shared a cryptic message.
"We've been watching you!"
And so, the adventures of Bjorn, Lindell, and Doom continue, their path now intertwining with the enigmatic figure of Alazor, the Green Hat Wizard. And a new quest and challenges await, and they are about to embark on a journey that would lead them to the heart of Paragard to meet the Wizard Supreme. And we'll continue that in episode 2, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, or reach out to me on Twitter, Bane of Mice 1, and let me know what you think about it. Until then, guys, you guys stay safe and you guys have a good time. Bye.